Hello everyone, I am the Dave, and I'm a couple days late to this party, but regardless, this is Half-Life 1 25th anniversary. I think Valve just scored a massive W here, because this is an improved version of Half-Life 1, the original, no mods, no nothing. But they did improve a couple things with it, in that it properly supports widescreen, has a widescreen field of view, texture filtering, stuff like that. For whatever reason, turning off vertical sync locks it to 30 FPS, but then you enable vertical sync and it kicks it up to 100 and allows you to lower input latency for the sake of something like VSync. They also brought back this classic title menu, which I never saw whenever I was playing this game, but I remember LGR did a video on Half-Life, and he showed this. It was a fresh CD-ROM, completely unpatched, and whatever. Not going to be talking about this for too much longer. They have the original demo that set the world on fire. Still no chapter select. I don't know why. That's like the one thing Half-Life 1 really desperately needs is a chapter select. Still doesn't have it, but whatever. So anyway, without further ado, let's get going.
Good morning and welcome to the
Morning.
Mesa Transit System. This automated
Okay, so I'm probably going to skip this train ride, just because it takes forever. Also, before I forget, I'm not going to do no clip or anything, but I do want to make sure my preferred field of view for 16:9 is here. Now, I mostly play games on ultra wide now, and the fact that this is properly supported, it's more or less properly supported now, is amazing. So, my personal history with Half-Life. I built my first gaming PC in 2013. So I've been PC gaming properly for 10 years.
This train is
and
from level 3 dormitories.
I didn't actually finish any of the Half-Life games until 2014. And I actually beat Half-Life 2 before going back and playing Half-Life 1. Even though I played Half-Life 1 first, and by that I mean I played a very, very large chunk of it, but that was Half-Life Source. I didn't actually play the Gold Source version of Half-Life until I think I got it on sale, and then played Brutal Half-Life. And to this day, Brutal Half-Life is still kind of my preferred method of playing it, because I guess it's the added violence is really good, but it crashes in very reliable spots, and it completely guts your mouse sensitivity throughout your entire computer. I had to change my internal mouse sensitivity permanently on my new computer because Brutal Half-Life completely gutted it, and I couldn't get it back to normal. So I've had to get used to a slightly different mouse sensitivity over the past few months. So be warned about that. I played M-Mod, the free mod for Half-Life 1 on Steam, which I do recommend trying if you have this game, which you have no reason not to because it's free now. I forgot to mention that. You can just get this game for free, which is freaking sweet, but why did it take 25 years for them to make Half-Life 1 free? I guess it was just still making money and it was always cheap. So, I guess why not? But now it's like, okay, so it's just the floodgates are open now. But M-Mod might actually be the best version of Half-Life. If it weren't for the fact that there's a bunch of added enemies making the Zen chapters at certain parts of the game nearly unplayable, and then Zen completely unplayable. And playing it on normal, at least, is, I guess to clarify, playing it on normal, it's completely unplayable because there's fall damage is better, or fall damage is greater, and you take damage for shorter falls. It's little things like that that make MMod terrible. But, I actually have some save files from earlier. I got to questionable ethics. And, yeah. I legitimately love Half-Life 1 as a first-person shooter. But, is it my favorite Half-Life game? I don't know. Because as much as I adore Half-Life 1, I do honestly think I slightly prefer 2. 2 has more interesting things going on, whereas Half-Life 1 I think is a more solid game. I used to say my favorite Half-Life was Black Mesa, but recently with some of the changes around the time of the Zen update, things to do with the lighting and a couple other odd little things, it feels like they lost the plot slightly. It's still an amazing remake, except, hey G-Man, see you in 22 years when you blow my mind in VR. You blow something else. Anyway, but Black Mesa used to have a lot of open-ended levels. Things like on a rail and bits during either surface tension or forget about Freeman, like shortly before Lambda Core. There was little things where you were a lot more free to tackle situations in different ways, but in On a Rail, they completely locked off easy access to the missile silo, making that encounter way more difficult than it needed to be. And the bits near Lambda Core always annoyed me because you can't let enemies just fight it out anymore and then go in and clean up the scraps. You sort of have to play it exactly like Crowbar Collective wanted to. And as much as Zen was improved, I think it was... Well, it was improved in the sense that it was better, but I wouldn't say it was good. But instead of talking about the Half-Life as it became, let's talk about how it was. I did not play this back in the day. Like I said, I didn't play this till about 2014. So, for better or worse, I can't say there's any nostalgia. It's more a matter of I'm sort of a newer fan to the series. In fact, only, you know, about 10 years. So, being a newer fan of the series and generally unable to go backward in game design. Oops, I do this every time. I knew I didn't need to go that way, and I always see that sign and think, oh wait, maybe I'm wrong. No, you're not. Personnel. But as a new fan of the... can't pick that up yet. As a new fan of the series, there is something fantastic about this game's design. In fact, there's something fantastic about the way that Valve constructs their games and paces the gameplay. Because this game, unlike Half-Life 2, which has vehicles and the pheromone bomb, whatever you want to call it. Ooh, yes. Ooh, yes. Also, this game's a lot more funky.
Looks like you're in the barrel today.
I'm in the barrel. On my Donkey Kong. Come on, Barney, dance with me. Dance with me, Barney! Anyway. But, also, I don't know if this was something that Half-Life 1 was better at, but the music holds over from loading screens. Yeah. That's actually a feature in Half-Life now. Because apparently Steam Pipe completely buggered it. Well, getting back to what I was talking about. Half-Life 1 is extremely good at being a first-person shooter with no frills. It is just a straight-up first-person shooter more equating to what we're familiar with now. Whereas Half-Life 2 has a bunch of interesting gimmicks. This just takes the simple ideas and controls. You will always have a gun. The gun will always shoot. A crowbar is also a gun, but just has 0 range. I suppose grenades and such are an exception to that qualification, but those are thrown. Whatever. They're still projectiles. But it just takes the fact that you always have a gun and you will always shoot that gun, and then just changes the way you approach. Because you've got, in the beginning, you've just got aliens, and then you've got soldiers, and then, it's soldiers. Then you kind of go back to aliens. It basically just puts different enemies and different combinations of enemies in front of you, and then gives you a bunch of weapons that have different effectiveness to deal with them. And that's just fantastic first-person shooter design. And it was something that was a lot more prevalent back in the 90s, which I was born in the early 90s. I wasn't allowed to play mature-rated games until I was 17. So, you know, I didn't get around to this stuff until years and years and years later. So, going back and playing games like this, and I'm able to ignore the graphics and able to just enjoy it because it's such a solidly built game, is wonderful. And I guess I've never gotten to play, like, Unreal and a few others, but the thing is, this is a lot more story-focused. This is the game that sort of solidified what we would call modern first-person shooters. So it's a lot easier to do that and enjoy these games. Whereas something like Half-Life 2, it was revolutionary in its own right, but it was, like I was saying before with, like, the different vehicles and stuff, it's not as simple. It's not as straightforward. So, I slightly prefer Half-Life 2 in a number of ways, but the parts of Half-Life 2 that I kind of dread going through are a lot longer and a lot more significant than the bits that I dread going through in Half-Life 1. In this one, everything's always very consistent. Half-Life 2 ages in kind of a sine wave. You can still play Half-Life 1 today and have a great time and be genuinely impressed from a historical perspective. You go back to Half-Life 2, you can be equally impressed from a technological perspective, and then you get to things like the airboat and Highway 17 and, what else? I'm trying to think of another bit that I absolutely despise. Well, I don't like the episodes, but, you know, we're just talking about the base game here. I've never played Opposing Force, and Blue Shift. So I should honestly do that. Now, as soon as we start getting guns and stuff like that, I gotta warn you, I hope you don't get motion sickness, because I move quick. Quickly. Grab me over. As soon as I push this, artifact in there, I'm gonna go get some coffee because it's gonna be a little while before there's any meaningful control. And I'm probably just gonna edit out all of that. Overhead capacitors to 105%. 105. I can capacitate 105. My hand is off the mouse because I'm just waiting for the next part of my job to start, so I'm gonna plant my fat butt down and think. The Rock is coming. Yeah! I'm just gonna sit down and go get some coffees. Enjoy it. That's a hell of a hangover. So anyway, something I also kind of forgot to mention, although I doubt anybody gets this far in the video, is where is it, content? This is on by default, I think. They said that they changed it, so this was not enabled last time I played, whenever I loaded it up the first time. But I think that may have had something to do with previous settings. Because I think whenever I played Half-Life 1 last time, like the actual gold source version, I think I had the HD models on. Whereas if I had not had the HD models on, it probably would have just defaulted. Because I think they basically just changed the setting to be the, like, whichever one is on. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Alright. Alright, can we have this conversation? I need to get out of here. And I could just no-clip. See, whenever I was playing this kind of for the first time, I was genuinely impressed at some of this detail. Because, I mean, bear in mind, this was 1998. Mouths move, everybody animates and whatever. And also, just little details like that. Sure, it's blocky. You can tell where the seams are, but still, they try that again. They bothered to model the inside of a broken computer. And I don't know about you, but that is quite impressive. Hedo Crabbo. They also seem, this may be a placebo, but they seem to have slightly improved the flashlight. I swear the flashlight beam is bigger. It's still basically a giant laser that sucks, but I don't know. At least it seems a little bit more effective. Yoink. Alright. Let's see. Ignore that. Duck under that. Hoppity bippity boopity. And I mentioned before how M-Mod had a bunch of extra enemies and stuff that were damn near broken. Chiefly among which, what kind of struck me was, like, there's a lot more barnacles and things. But, you know, that's kind of whatever. But what really struck me was things like residue processing. You'd have to see it, and one of these days I may go through M-Mod as much as I can stand it, because there are things about that just show a complete lack of consideration for the player or their design, or the game design. Because this may not make sense if you're not too familiar with Half-Life, but there's that bit where there's the horizontally moving pistons, and you're on a conveyor belt, and you have to sort of time it. There's also barnacles, so you have to go into the piston housing and risk getting crushed, while having to deal with barnacles. And this is, again, with residue processing, you have very limited ammo. Very, very limited, so you're essentially screwed. Okay, I could have sworn he would go up and do this. This also, okay, I know they're working on patches and things, but this is a slightly glitchier version, because I found a couple instances where things didn't work exactly like they should. And I really do hope there's an option to fix M-Mod, because it's not glitchy, it's just got very poor design in a lot of places. Alright, come back here. Oh, that's a bad doggy. And maybe every other version of Half-Life 1 has a different crowbar behavior, but I swear it's a little bit sticky. Like, it doesn't always start swinging. Or it doesn't maintain its swing. You can still pound the wall like a wall pounder? I don't know. So, what are we doing? Like I said, I mean, I try to move through Half-Life 1 pretty quickly. And I'm familiar enough with it to where I can, but things like head crabs, I guess I'm more used to games that it discourage taking damage, because I can go through large swaths of this game with full health and armor, more or less, and I still get mad whenever I take damage. I'm just not used to this. Because it has actually been a while since I've sat down and properly played Half-Life 1. I've really only played Black Mesa the past few years.
I never suspected such things could be. I hope those people in the Lambda lab can get this under control.
Oh, the first utterings of the Lambda Lab. We will be going there. Actually, semi-related to Half-Life, the whole thing with Yahtzee Croshaw and the Escapist. That's... I didn't expect that to ever happen, but you know what? Going independent is something that people should always consider. And it's just kind of like one of those things where... I don't know. It always bugs me when I hear stories of stuff like that. It's, you are the people that built this product, but because we're a big corporation, we're going to have unreasonable expectations of you, despite the fact you've been killing it the past few years. And what have you. But what I find really impressive about Second Wind, which is where they went to, is just how quickly they got that thing up and running. Like, in 2 days, they had some graphics, and in a week, Yahtzee had new assets and other things. I think they were just all modified assets for Zero Punctuation, which, hey, if it's, in matters of efficiency, don't do any extra work. But, oh, pants. Alright. I forgot that there's actually essentially a kill box in there. Always get on the side. If you can get to the health station, that's lovely, but, you know, I don't care. Who cares about bull squids? Yeet! And since I'm more used to Black Mesa at this point, just the, I guess the platforming's a little... Everything feels a little bit tighter. Just like I was saying before, Black Mesa has undergone a lot of changes over the years. And things like bull squids. I mean, I absolutely hate the Vortigaunts in this game. Or in Black Mesa. In this game, they're fine. They feel right. But something to do with the way that they duck and weave and the speed at which they'll charge and throw out the beams. It's just awful. Really is awful. And I've never liked it. Plus that AoE attack they do if you get too close. Like the Vortigaunts in OG Half-Life have a sort of... They do have a... Excuse me? Get up there. Valve ladders. Terrible since 1998. But, whoops. So when I was playing this the other day, it was... Oh, I did this the first time the other day. Like, all you gotta do is run, really. Anyway. Yeah, I still love Black Mesa, but I think there was this really happy medium shortly before or like a year or so before the Zen update, where everything felt absolutely fantastic, and then they just changed it. I know I'm a bit scatterbrained right now. I do this every time. I blow my load at the beginning of whatever video, talk about everything before I even start, or before whatever. Then we get to this point, or this approximate point in whatever project, and then I basically run out of stuff to say. Come on, Hedo. And zap. There's stuff over there, but it's never worth it. Plus, it's not like I'm hurting. No witnesses. They call me Double Agent Freeman. I'm both cleaning up the station, or I'm both cleaning up the facility and facilitating its downfall. I'm working with both parties. You know what? Let's go get the shotgun and then come back and get him. And there's going to be head crab behind the big box over here. So, as soon as this breaks, just step back. Yeet! Crouch down. Hello! Get ourselves a shawty. And then immediately use it. And wait until this door is completely open, otherwise you'll explode. Although, that was one of my favorite things in Brutal Half-Life, was occasionally, the Barney there would just explode. Like, he would open the gate and then just jib everywhere. Actually, kind of talking of jibs and stuff like that, I think Half-Life 1, or at least the Gold Source engine, is a really good case study in old engines having a lot of life, especially as technology increases, because the graphics limits of yesterday don't apply today. Like, this game was crippling computers in 1998, and now we have stuff that renders Cyberpunk at, you know, 150 frames per second in max settings, that kind of thing. So, granted, that's a very expensive rig I just described, but, you know, some people got it. But the thing is, dumbass. Oh, well, there went my no swearing rule for the video. Oh, well. What was I talking about? But things like Brutal Half-Life and, like, the amount of blood decals, it borderline Hotline Miami. In fact, I'd say that it's more impressive than Hotline Miami because it is in 3D and it's having to remember things, and just the variety of gore effects in Brutal Half-Life is great. And yeah, it was great, but in almost the same way that everything seems to do, it kind of got worse with updates. One thing they listed in the patch notes that's being blocked by a head crab is box pushing is no longer tied to your frame rate. So that always confused the heck out of me whenever I was playing this, you know, originally. Is like, you walk up to something and then it just goes across the room at an outrageous speed. Now, everything is tied to a set speed, has nothing to do with your frame rate. So they did do some objective improvements, which is... Valve has some faults. I do love them as developers. Things like their commentaries in the documentary they released as part of the 25th anniversary is utterly fantastic. But, I adore them as developers in terms of what they create. Mostly. I'm not a big fan of Team Fortress 2 or Portal 2, but hey, whatever. The titles that kind of made them, or kind of put them up there, like Half-Life and 2, I'll just say like the orange box related stuff. Even though I just said I don't care for Team Fortress 2, I do fully understand the appeal. And I do occasionally play it with a friend of mine who quite likes it. Did I just seriously miss an entire gaggle of head crabs with that grenade? No, I've got some of them. So, oh man, what was I saying? Valve design. Oh, okay. They're good about update. Whatever. I lost my train of thought. I'm not going to try to reclaim it. So the goal here is to... Seriously. Okay. Office Complex. Far more playable in OG Half-Life than in remakes and mods. Because all you gotta do is turn the corner. Boom! Then avoid that. Boom! Then you come over here. Boom! Dodge that fist. Boom! Boom! Well, that didn't work out like I was hoping. Reload. Avoid head crab. Boom. Boom. Gave him double barrel because it felt like it. Even though this is not a double barrel shotgun. Easy. Maintenance tunnel. Okay, last time I went through this, that never deactivated. I had to shoot it. And who? Let's see. Oh, seriously?
I just overheard a secure access transmission. Soldiers have arrived, and they're coming to rescue us. Of course, I have my
Are they?
will live long enough to greet them. With my brains and your brawn, we'll make an excellent team.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll stay here, and I certainly hope you know what you're doing.
I really do know what I'm doing. Unfortunately, that's probably not going to save you. Oh. I hate head crabs. Weirdly enough, I think the only head crabs that aren't
Wait.
just absolute hell are the ones in Half-Life 2. I think those were tolerable. But OG Half-Life and I'd say Half-Life Alyx is a bit of a pain in the neck. But a lot of that's also down to your personal ability to aim and shoot, which turns out I'm not good at.
Hey, Gordon.
Hi, Bonnet. Okay. Well, I don't know why I'm doing that. I have a crowbar. I don't remember what the max ammo for it, the shotgun is in this.
My luck has to change sooner or later.
I was born lucky. I'm born lucky and forced to suck. Okay. I don't really know why I'm doing this, because we're not hurting on grenades or other supplies that we're about to get, but I guess this is just kind of a practical demonstration of this kind of semi-secret area. Alright. Gee, that wall is colored slightly differently. Bye. Oh, there's the third one. Never assume there's just one, because there's usually followers. Okay. Yes. Oh, shotgun ammo. Alright. Could have used more grenades. Didn't. Alright. Oh. Wasn't? I could have sworn there was a Barney that follows you to about this point. Oh. One heado. Where's the other one? There he is. Actually, I kind of wish I was recording. I mentioned Half-Life Alyx and the head crabs and not being able to aim for peanuts. I had a friend of mine who had limited VR experience. Like, he's played it before, but I told him, it's like, yeah, I know you've never played a Half-Life game or what have you, but Half-Life Alyx is a fantastic introduction, and I have an index, so it kind of introduced him to some of the unique features of the index. And he had never seen a head crab before, to my knowledge, and that was hilarious. Thing was, he didn't get so far as to get to the poison head crabs. And he's not a firearms nut, so I had to sort of tell him how to reload the pistol and stuff like that, which, to some people who play shooters and stuff, they have a basic understanding of things like magazines and what have you, but he plays shooters, but he doesn't pay attention. This is not any sort of indictment of my oldest friend, as it were. By the way, I'm not talking shit about him. Or smack about him. I'm just saying that, you know, it's interesting going through that, because someone, since I've been familiar with Half-Life Elements for... Yeah, probably. But since I've been familiar with Half-Life for longer than I've played it, and then I've played it for about a decade, things like the initial impressions of head crabs and a bunch of other things. Seeing somebody play anything Half-Life related for the first time is actually quite fascinating. And to play, you know, like a VR game and the first time seeing a head crab properly is in VR. I admit that was a little mean of me, but I also don't care. It was funny. I wish I was recording it. There was that voice in my head that said, you've got to record this, but I didn't. So, sorry, that's just not something you're going to see. Although next time, if there is a next time when he plays it, I am going to record it. So, this part. I don't think there's any specific reason to go through here with any amount of great detail, other than some additional ammo. Get that other pistol mag. Thank you very much. Okay. Oh, that works. Well, there's multiple ways to do this, I guess, or you just fall on your butt. Okay. Ah. So, I could typically get to power up in about an hour. I think my personal best speed run, now granted it was brutal Half-Life, but I think my personal best was like 3 hours and 45 minutes. But there's some parts I gotta take a little bit more slowly, and some parts that I'm terrible at and die a lot. Alright. Do not attack the... Okay, I do apologize, but you shot him first. I was just finishing what you started. Ah, the boxes. Suppose that's something else that's a semi-objective improvement, was future Half-Life games would distinguish if a box was like its supply or not. G-Man going through the facility in his suit. I don't know how to finish this joke, so I'll make a fart joke. Poot. Yeah, that'll work. There was no threat in there. Why did you do that? Now, I think there's grenades in here. I mean, I'll give this to Half-Life 1. If you love grenades, this game loves you. Because there's a lot of them. Especially not after I get up here. Alright. You know, I have about a 50-50 chance of screwing up that jump. Okay, so we got this mess. Yeah, you're glad you didn't run it, idiot. Okay. Now that's something I swore I don't know why. It never occurred to me that you get the SMG this early. But I guess you do, because I think, or maybe that was just something Black Mesa didn't do. Actually, we'll stick with this. Okay. Now, what's funny is because of my the way I have this recorded, I have to use OBS to read my ammo and health because it's slightly cut off for me. Okay, on this part, I always screw up in some form or capacity. Maybe not. Screw it. Uh-oh. What did I mean? Oh, hey, I didn't actually take it. Whoops. I pushed tilde. Oh, please break. Thank you. Now, oh my goodness, I'm doing that a lot now. What this bit with But this upcoming fight with your sort of first proper fight with the soldiers, that's another issue with Black Mesa on its Black Mesa difficulty, because that's sort of the medium difficulty. It's damn near impossible. Like, I don't know if it's because the soldiers don't stop and shoot in Black Mesa, but rather they run and gun. But their movement, their tactics, and everything else, it's hell. Also, I think it's either here or sort of... Maybe it's the next encounter, but I've had instances where soldiers will come up from, like, the next area and start popping some. Okay, I don't think there's any real reason to be around here. Now, this is the part where I gotta sort of concentrate, because I am gonna be making my way downtown, walking fast, kicking ass, and I'm home back. No swearing policy. For Dave? Yeah, that's not gonna work, is it? Found out last time I played this, I found out a little bit of a quirk, whereas if you're cooking a grenade, then you switch weapons. When you go back to that grenade, you're dead. Or not dead, but you're, you ain't gonna have a lot of health left. Thank you kindly. I think you could just run past this. Huh. On the one man who wouldn't you like to know. Oh, I did not need to reload there. Thank you. Still picking up shotgun ammo. Like, good lord, what is the ammo cap on that thing? I thought it was 80. 125? Seriously? Good grief, Gordon's got deep pockets, but not a penny to his name. Has to take it off everybody else. No, it's this one. I don't think they actually showed up, but oh, wait, maybe not. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I swear there's certain encounters where soldiers can come by early and just start having a jolly holiday with Mary. And this is sort of the point where I was talking about where, like, Black Mesa is just absolute AIDS. Because here, it's not that bad. Oh, I just pinged that off at myself. We got that. And I swear, there's always a shotgunner or somebody else hiding. But I guess not. Nice. I don't know. It's... Maybe a lot of the issues I keep talking about with Black Mesa would be solved if I was playing on a lower difficulty. Because this next encounter is yet another example of it just being an absolute pain. I mean, this is supposed to be about Half-Life 25th anniversary. Talking about Black Mesa most of the time now, but hey, I think I spoke my piece more or less on Half-Life as a whole. Bye, suckers! I'll remember you all in therapy. See, this game has the recharge stations. Black Mesa does not. Neat. Now, I can't remember if you take damage... Did that kill one of them? Or is that scripted? I swear, this encounter... I think the other one fell down and died. Huh, neat. Alright. Oops. Well, I just fell down and... Oh, wait, there he is. Leave no stone unturned. Oh! And leave no Gordon unscrewed. Alright. Ah, there it is. No matter how many times I do this part, every once in a while, I'll just have like a brain hemorrhage and forget how to navigate that particular vent, or these vents. Blood means the way forward.
Well, so much for the government. Their idea was just
Yeah, so much for the government indeed. Okay, yes, they're killing everyone with the project, and I'm kind of helping. Eat it. I'm gonna do something that never works. I swear this never ever works for me, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I'm gonna take damage. No, I'm not. Yeah, why does I swore that cleared things out, but that's like that is such a bizarre. I'm not gonna call it a short sight, but it's very bizarre that that doesn't really work. Isn't there another one? No, it's just the bull squid. What the? Got him. And I believe Duder knocks the door open. Guaranteed kill, plus you get grenades. Get that going. I don't think there's anything in here, but I also don't remember. So, I'm going to be doing the sort of easy way here. Which I find it interesting how they have the tram here almost as a preview, but you don't have to. You can just get out and run, which is no more difficult. Which, I probably played through this game half a dozen times before I learned of this particular route, or this particular method. I would always take the hit in the poop soup. Alright. Alright. This is another instance where I'm more used to Black Mesa, so I don't really remember the best way to navigate this. And there's multiple bull squids. Which I don't think I have to worry about the second one. Nope. Alright. Yeah. Let's see if I can do this without falling in the soup. Yep. Squat down and go. Do an ammo check while we're riding on elevators. I've got 9 grenades. Neat. Okay. Onward to power up. Or not power up. Blast pit. I think. Oh. Come on. Don't leave me alone at the party. And screw you in particular. Oh. And screw you two in particular. Wish there was a zoom button. I really do. Like, that's... Someone probably modded it into the game somewhere, somehow, but I don't know what that is. And actually, can you bind... Oops. Can't you bind... aren't there console commands to do keybinds? Be like, bind... I don't know, bind... Z to FOV 30 or something. Because I know, because I remember back in the day, when I was watching PewDiePie, there was he did Cry of Fear, and he would save his game by doing a command, like he would do like save pew and load pew. What in the world? That's never happened. Okay. Reason I do that is so I have a completely clear direction. Oh. Nope! That did not go as well as I was hoping. Those hit like a freight train. Of course, I always seem to end up taking unnecessary damage during that part in particular. Also, one thing I'd notice is when the loading screens are as quick as they are nowadays, and, you know, since I sort of know where I'm going and what I'm doing, good grief, there's so many loading screens. Like, this is a very, very segmented game, which, you know, is just kind of how they had to do it, but still, it doesn't stop it from being very noticeable. It's basically like micro stutters by today's standards. You just run forward, da-da-da, and then the game hitches for, you know, like 2 seconds. Or less than a second, whatever. Very peculiar. So. The fan. So, when it comes to the chapters in Half-Life, I'm not a huge fan of Blast Pit. It's not bad, but it's like, depending on the individual pieces, it kind of depends on the version I prefer, because there's some aspects of Blast Pit I prefer the original. Some aspects I think were a little better in Black Mesa. And so on and so forth, I guess. Whew, I'm running out of adrenaline and running out of things to say. So as soon as we're done with Blast Pit, I think we're going to call it. Unfortunately, it won't take me too long. The Half-Life shotgun just never was very good, and it's even worse in Black Mesa. See, the reason why I'm talking smack about Black Mesa is because I legitimately like it. In many ways, it's the best version of Half-Life. Just because, like, it feels modern without taking away from the spirit. But it really does show how subtleties in game design can really change how stuff feels. Because, oh, you've got to be kidding me. You saw that, right? I got stuck. I did not take my finger off the move key. I didn't do any of that. It just decided it wasn't going to happen, Sonny. So what's that? Is that my first death or my second death? Because I don't recall taking any deaths thus far. Oh! Usually you run up on him like that, you can get your shot off. Where are you going? So. And I don't know where the autosave is, because it seems like anytime I die around here, I have to redo pretty much everything I just did. Freaking barnacles. Alright, I'll go ahead and eat the health here. I usually like to save health for on the return trip around these parts. Not being able to press E to activate ladder makes this a little bit trickier. Oh.
Hello.
Bye. And the amount of times I went through this part without thinking or knowing you could just get up on those pipes and avoid taking radiation damage is embarrassing. That was not a smart move. I don't recommend doing that exactly, because those things come around and basically insta-kill you. Talking of insta-kill, I'll come back for you after I go get cigarettes. Son of a... I know I'm going too quickly. I know this is entirely a product of my own design, but you know what? I decided to do it this way. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to kill him for good luck. Shift is a walk button in this game because 90s. Oh. I wonder if you could get on those and ride them. Oh well. And... okay, I'm glad there was a failsafe because I just hit the wall. And... babies! Oh. Okay. I always kill this guy because it's a tradition. Or at this point, it's a tradition. It's always... it is kind of fun coming back to this after playing Black Mesa for so... why? Am I doing something... hang on a Tootski. Oh. That was nowhere near as dramatic of a reset as I was expecting. So I saw like another ledge or something. Oh yeah. This is my mistake for climbing up all the way. Neat! Now we know. Oh. Oh, I was stuck on the hook. Freaking SpongeBob playing hooky. Come on. Go this way. Crouch there. If you just push it, it gets... tends to get stuck on the door frame. It's happened more than once. Oh, get down there, please. Could blow those up. Not going to. Where's the... why don't they just have those in similar spots? Oh, and if I were to fall down and die here, I'd have to do basically all that again. So I do not want that to happen. Alright, turkey. Run for the hills! And I swear, that's probably different from this to Black Mesa's. The direction of the ladders. But oh well. What are you gonna do? Okay. Oh! Scheisse! Why is it I always exit power up with very little health? I don't know what. Always end up screwing that up. I also think it's possible to take damage if you stand too close to the window, but maybe that was a glitch in Brutal Half-Life or something. Because here I'm not even getting the... or maybe it's if you step into the light. Neat. I mean, I think it's entirely possible to go and use a health station. I mean, I never... health is never really a huge issue, honestly. Like, I don't really run into so many instances of where I put myself in a bad spot. Plus, there is a health station right around the corner. Almost literally. Okay. Grab the 357, the Colt Python. Yeet. Oh boy. I don't remember. You ever have those associations with locations in games? Like, you just remember a conversation you were having with somebody, Even though it was an insignificant conversation. I forgot what it was I was talking about. Like, career options or something. But whatever it was I said I was considering, a friend of mine said, oh, I don't really recommend it. Like, while I was playing this part of Black Mesa, but still. Basically the same thing. Yeet. And I vaguely remember this being a one-way path. Like, that'll just load up exactly where it needs to go. Also, you just take damage throughout this. Like, if you... I think you will always take damage if you fall into the pipe. It's really possible to absolutely screw yourself on that fall. I nearly did. Okay. So, they play the animation. You know how many times I've picked this up and then instantly stuck it to something? It's an embarrassing amount, I'll put it that way. And I think you also get the satchels here for the first time. And I don't want to throw one of those. I guess there's a lot of health here, so they knew that you were going to be a little bit of a broken ankle bastard, but, you know. Still kind of bad design. Alright. So, power up! Bye, bitches! Oh, well. Again, with the no swearing rule getting broken. And that place just collapses anyway. Oh, wait. I vaguely remember there being Vortigons. Neat. Whoa. I'm surprised that worked. Man, didn't I have 100 health like 10 seconds ago?
You can get the power on.
I'll
That
get
train
your
will take
power
you to
on.
the surface.
What's up?
A long way down the generator room.
Got my ticket for the long way down. Hey! We got parkour head crab up in here. Didn't I say I was gonna quit when I got to power up? What happened to that? I don't know, this sort of opening, it's sort of like the opening and around the point where you get to surface tension and forget about Freeman. Those are my favorite parts of this game. Residue processing and a lot of the other... I always forget about that. But residue processing and a number of other bits kind of around the middle. Not a big fan. Blow themselves up. Guess I'll continue until I get to a point where I start feeling genuinely annoyed or something. Oh my gosh. Stop crouching! This isn't Counter-Strike. Actually, yeah, do that. Of course, now I gotta get my revenge. Okay, there we go. That's the kind of thing I want. One shot, one poop. Ah. Frickin' 90s era animations. I heard that. This part sucks. Why did it give me crossbow bolts? Is that just like a preview? It's like, oh, here's ammo type for something you're not gonna... Oh, wait. Oh, you get the crossbow before you lose all your stuff. Alright, that makes sense. Now, I do have something of a recent discovery for this part of the game, like this upcoming show of a fight. And that is trip mines. Never used to use them. Now I do. Like, I found an actual use for trip mines. Come on. I can... These guys always do something different. Whoa, 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 whoa. Bye. Why is there a head crab here? Why is there 2 head crabs? Why do I have 1 health? User death is not imminent. It's just a likely... I hate head crabs. Okay. Oh, sure, get pistol. Where are they coming from? Stop! That has to be a glitch. I have never seen... I don't even remember head crabs being there, but, you know, that's my fault. But that many? Are you high? Oh. Hi, bub. I hit 1 instead of Q. This, to me, really is one of the most difficult fights in the entire game. I'm not going to quit until we have it done. I need to remap last weapon used to my mouse button instead of Q. Really? I mean, I'm willing to accept if I was missing, but if I wasn't missing, then you can have one out. Huh? Yeah, okay, so we've got infinitely spawning head crabs. Lovely. I greatly appreciate your sacrifice, Mr. Head Crab. I'll remember you in hell. I could have sworn there was a dude hiding behind a box. Maybe in a different version of the game? I don't know. Okay, so I got 33 health. That's really all I need. Oh. Die in a fire! Is it because I put the trip mine down? Did I blow the vent open or something? Alright, no more are spawning. Was that just... Is there supposed to be that many head crabs? I don't freaking know, dude. Alright. So, put one here. Put one here. Put one here. I don't use these very often, and I'm probably never going to use them again, so that doesn't matter. But yeah. I vote that we just get to this point later. So, yeah. That is gonna be it. Thank you very much for watching. I am the Dave, signing off. I hope you enjoyed it. Any and all feedback is appreciated. Do not like this video unless you actually enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.